Stay with me. Next is this beautiful Bruno Paillard Première Cuvée Champagne. Stay tuned. I was in a tasting in Champagne in September 2016 and able to meet Bruno Paillard, which was fantastic, and also to meet his daughter Alice was also equally fantastic. He was there just for a moment because it was during harvest season. That was the reason I was there. It was a harvest tour, and to be there during this period of time was also to meet people, but also to be expecting that a lot of the people that you're going to meet are going to be busy. They're going to be on the vineyard site, and there's a very short window in which to pick. So for me, Bruno Paillard has also lived large in my imagination. It's something I've been tasting quite early on and quite often, and I absolutely adore, and I love their style. And it's really a great testament to a family project. And it's something that is really, near and dear to me. So for me, there is a bias. I love champagne, and if I could only have one sparkling wine, it would be champagne. Because I think ultimately I really am married to the qualities of the Chardonnay, the Pinot Noir, and the Meunier grapes. So in the United States, you could rarely find Extra Brut, or you can find Brut Nature was really a rarity. Now you can find it much more often. You'll find it significantly much more so in New York than you do anywhere else. But of course, it's New York. You're going to find everything there. Here in San Francisco, it's of course a wine capital, but not like New York. And so you're going to find a lot of these gorgeous wines. So for me, I think it's a really great testament to taster. I tasted through all the Paillard wines. I was at the Domaine. Alice was conducting the tasting, giving the tour. And I want to say she's absolutely elegant and fantastically hospitable and knowledgeable and such a superb business person. So it was such an honor and privilege to meet her. So here we go. Let's taste this wine. Open a bottle of champagne, not sitting down. I usually do it standing up, but for the purposes of this video, I'll do it right here. And the pressure's on to do it just well. Yay, it worked. Very happy with that result. So for me, I've broken, I gotta tell you, I'll be honest, I broke all my Zalto champagne glasses, which is very sad, but also it is really a superb vessel. The next vessel I have is a Burgundy glass. And while it's not ideal, it's not the worst vessel to use. The reason, I think it's the bulb is just a bit too large, and it beats the flutes. The flutes are just way too small to do something simple like smell. You can't smell, and you have to smell champagne. You have to really get that experience. Now, more than 30 crews are involved in this production of this wine here. So you'll look you'll see a lot of on the labels. You'll see a small little NM or RM or other designations. So NM means négociant manipulant versus a reclutant manipulant. And in some regards, you can actually. This is a house that does produce its own wine grapes for the productions of the wines they do produce, but they do purchase wine grapes from other producers, hence the 30 crews. And so this is a composition, a very fine composition, just like music. For me, the Paillard name means a lot to me because when I was a kid, I was able to experience the Jean-Francois Paillard Chamber Orchestra. And Jean-Francois, I'm not sure if there's a relationship. I should have asked that question. I could still ask that question to the Paillard family, Alice Paillard or to Bruno Paillard. But Jean-Francois was born in the Vitry-le-François, which is in the Champagne region. So there could be a relationship, or maybe not. There's people with my last name who I'm not related to. But I think, it's just, for me, it's that special quality sometimes when you pair things like in food and wine, and you pair things in life, it really has that special meaning. Even if there's not that relationship to it, it's just something that has a significance to you. It has a significance, it means something to you. And for me, it's important. One of my favorite wines, in addition to the rosé, which I absolutely adore, j'adore rosé wine, but I also really much admire the NPU. So I think it was a 2003 vintage, and it's a vintage champagne. It is really sublime, beautiful, gorgeous, and it's really that quality that you get from a vintage wine that is noticeable. You taste through a lot of champagne, and you taste a lot of wines, and there are a lot of pleasant, beautiful wines and great quality wines. But somehow when you really hone in on the characterization, there is something to it. So wines like this are multiple vintages you have over several years. And you produce that wine that really gives you the reserves that come through, evenness that really makes champagne a success. but on those superb years, to have a vintage wine, have some caviar. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it is really sublime, beautiful, gorgeous. So here we go with this point score. It's 94 points out of 100 points. Now I think the quality of this wine is just, again, sublime and beautiful. I'm getting crushed seashells, so a bit of that salinity coming off of the seashell. On this, I'm getting mandarin orange peel, as well as Meyer lemon zest, a bit of pulp on this, almond, a bit of brioche, and you know, again, a bit of that white floral characteristic. So here we go with the flavor characterization. Superb mouthfeel. So on the scent characterization, getting those citrus qualities, but on the flavor characteristics, I'm getting something very different. What I'm getting on this is pear notes, Kamas pear, that fleshy Kamas pear. What is coming out in mid-December from Oregon, for example, is really represented in this wine, as well as an Italian or white fig. And that pine nut comes through in terms of that earthiness. The crushed seashell comes through in terms of that bit of that salinity note here, and a bit of tea notes and white floral characterization. 94 points out of 100 points. Now I'm going to say this, and you know, I'm excited to have been in Champagne. I'll go back again. I'll have that great experience of amazing, stellar food. You can visit a lot of domains, and don't be shy, reach out. Even though they may not be open to the public, you can still experience it. Put foot on ground. If you're going to Paris, yeah, it's a short train ride away on the high-speed train. Go to Champagne. Experience a few of the domains. So the cathedral is beautiful. And I'm going to say this, if you want to go visit, go during the La Reve. And so La Reve is this show that's on the cathedral. So this somewhat of a medieval light show that's on the cathedral, paired with music. And there's some phenomenal restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants, and I'll put it down here, is Racine, which is around the corner from the cathedral. Enjoy a beautiful wine like this, and do so not just on a special occasion, which I do on special occasions and non-special occasions. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'm on a variety of social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Thank you for watching today. Stay tuned for more. Sante.